Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending. My name is Derek Folden. I'm the Tax Credit Director at IFA and IEDA. Welcome to the Iowa Thriving Communities webinar. Our communities this afternoon will be Charles City and Jefferson, talking about their initiatives and local programs that are enticing developers to come to their communities. So Iowa Thriving Communities is a collaboration that started last spring between IFA and IEDA staff. I'm really working to bring ideas and actually bring forward ideas and partnerships that are happening locally in communities across Iowa. A lot of the best ideas and partnerships out there were being, I guess, the stories being told were amazing. What was being done to really try and attract housing for all, for Iowans out there at different levels, and also to entice people to their communities to come develop as well. So as part of this program, we really want the communities to stand up and talk about what they've been doing, and hopefully that information and partnerships will spread to other communities so they can use those as kind of models or tools for improving development in their communities as well. In addition, the state, as part of the incentive, we are offering scoring points for both the Workforce Housing Tax Credit Program and for the Low-Income Housing Tax Credit Program in the cases for Charles City and Jefferson. So the Workforce Housing Tax Credit Program, every year we get about $35 million, half of which will go to small cities and half go to large cities. This year, we are going to announce pretty soon that there is 5 points for developers that bring projects to these communities for the Iowa Thriving Communities. So definitely a huge incentive. On the LIHTC side, the low-income housing tax credit side, the incentive is 2 points when you develop in those areas as well for those communities. So starting off, we have Scott from Jefferson, who will be presenting on Jefferson's initiatives in their community. And then we'll jump over to Charles City for the presentation, and we'll have time after both of those for questions. So I'll turn to you, Scott.
All right, fantastic. Yeah, thank everybody for their time this afternoon, and certainly I thank the Thriving Communities program for coordinating this presentation and allowing us to share all of the good work that's being done in Jefferson. So I'm sharing my screen. Hopefully you can see this now that the PowerPoint is up. Talk a little bit about what's going on in Jefferson, and really just even on this cover screen, I did want to point out one thing where they talked about those workforce housing tax credits and the low-income housing tax credits that Jefferson's been approved for bonus points on both of those applications, and we would actively seek both of those applications and proceed forward with them. So just a little bit about Jefferson. There's Jefferson, the red dot on the map. It's located in west central Iowa, roughly about an hour to the northwest of the Des Moines area. It's in Greene County, right on Highway 30. The calling card really of Jefferson is the Mahaney Bell Tower. That's the picture of that in the lower left-hand corner. And one of the many attractions that we have in town that brings folks to town and encourages tourism around the area also. I want to point out a few things about Jefferson and kind of brag on ourselves for a little bit, because we got a lot of things, a lot of good positive things that have gone on for years, and some of it's been acknowledged through these awards and recognitions. So we are a Main Street community. We have been a Main Street community since 2012 and have won several of the development awards, but we just this past year surpassed the $10 million benchmark about investments into our downtown area. Just very, very, very proud of that. And not only through Iowa Main Street, but also through the Great American Main Street, national semifinalist for some of the projects that occur in our community. In addition, we're at Iowa Great Place, and a lot of things pertaining to technology. Technology Community of the Year in 2020, and a smart rural community. These are are all related to the broadband services that we offer here. We're a gig capable community and have fiber to the home. We can fulfill any of the needs really that folks need on the technology end of things. Talked a little bit about tourism and award winners on tourism also. That best rural attraction is the Mahaney Bell Tower. Outstanding tourism business, outstanding retail experience, a lot of things that are encouragements for folks to come visit, but they're also great quality of life attributes for folks who live here all the time. And we're really not afraid to be the trailblazers on a couple of things also, and looking at being a couple of the firsts in Iowa. So that Home Base Iowa program, where you're encouraging veterans to relocate to your community, relocate there, live there, find great work there. We're the first county, Greene County is the first county in Iowa to be certified as a Home Base Iowa county. And through the Iowa Prison Industries program, the Homes for Iowa, we have 2 of those homes that were built, and we have a couple of the very first ones built have been placed here in Jefferson, a great cooperative project between the city and our regional housing folks. And again, a couple of the first using the IEDA, a downtown loan guarantee, first statewide recipient, and CDBG upper story housing grant, first statewide recipient. And I bring this to your attention, just really to note that we're not afraid about kind of blazing the trail, and if you have some unique ideas that you would really like to address, we'd really like to address those with you. We do have a lot of successes along the way, and we would really highly rely on our public-private collaboration to get those things done. Strong history of utilizing many partners in the city government is an important partner in that. So city engagement examples that we offer tax abatement. So it's 3-year, 100% tax abatement for single family homes. We offer a 10-year, 100% abatement for multifamily housing developments. Offer those low cost infill lots. We've done a lot of work over the years through the neighborhood stabilization program to clean up the neighborhoods, acquire some dilapidated properties, get the chance to rehab those homes if possible, but oftentimes they would be torn down, and then the lots offered then for new home construction. So infill lots, of course, the most really effective way to use property where the infrastructure is already in place. Another thing that the city's really proud of is how we have committed to the downtown rehabilitation. And I hope you get the chance to get to Jefferson sometime and absolutely make sure that you go around the square downtown, because it's amazing. The amount of improvements that have been done to the buildings really is astonishing. And the city is an important partner in that. We have a thriving forgivable loan program in the downtown area. Additional partners to grow Greene County Gaming Corporation. That's the nonprofit arm of the Wild Rose Casino, which is here in town. So we do get the opportunities that come along with that, and all of their charitable dollars that go with it. So we get to the close collaboration then between all of these key organizations: the city, Greene County, nonprofit economic development organization, that's GCDC, Greene County Development Corporation. Schools, local leaders, everybody working together, really pulling the rope all in the same direction, get you things like this. We're very proud of this also. Our committee had compiled projects that had just been completed within the past 10 years, and you come up with an investment of $128 million into our community with just over 4,100 people. And then again, that's happening all over 10 years. And that's a lot of effort on a lot of different people to make that happen. So next up, and we know our next challenge then is housing, but we're ready for that, and we see that potential and the growth potential that can come with that. See all those logos there? We are just blessed to have a strong manufacturing presence in Jefferson, and strong presence of manufacturers in Greene County. So, but those manufacturers, they're forever on the lookout then for good employees also. You see a lot of the other business logos here, and folks that contribute positively to the community. And I want to highlight the banks. There's 3 banks here in town, and all the logos are there, but those banks are all just very, very pro-development and are there to help us out, and great relationship with them. So when you think about our major employer cooperation, because they know that they're looking for folks. So you see the existing need there. 30% of Greene County workforce lives outside the county, and when that analysis was down, that was the highest rate in Iowa of any county at 30%. We had in-migration to work of 30%. And of those folks, 70% of those that had lived outside Greene County indicated that they would be willing to move to Greene County, filling those new homes, which we would certainly hope to be constructing. How about some brand new information though? Because this one's from a survey in October 2023, as the investigated with our local employers in Greene County, manufacturing, a lot of them, again, 116 open jobs available right now. And then they know that this need will continue to grow. 245 new positions that are forecast to be added in the next 5 years. So when you think about our housing needs in town, what is it that we are really looking for? So we had the traditional housing needs assessment completed. It was done in 2021. And that really identified needs for all types of housing. And it listed 4 of the goals there. These are the words right out of the study about addressing the need for additional rental housing. And that'd be market-based rental. That'd be workforce type housing. That would be low income housing. Again, open to consideration of all those types of projects, and we found the need for all those types of projects in town. But we're not going to forget about our current housing stock either. Update the current housing was another item that was identified as important, and we do know that we got to keep that current housing stock up to offer many varied types of housing for our residents. Next one is to address the need for affordable homes. And this is talking about single family owner occupied homes. And the workforce housing tax credit then of course becomes a great opportunity for folks to end up affording their own homes. So we do have developers that we would love to get into town and continue the building of those affordable homes through the workforce housing tax credit. And also increase market rate housing. And so we're looking at market rate housing, and I would say that we're certainly looking then even at the higher end housing, that we have those needs. And then, being a rural community, it gets to be a little harder to attract that developer. So we do know that we have these opportunities here for you. We have some great places where you could build those homes, including market rate or maybe a little higher end stuff. One other initiative, though, that I really want to highlight, something very unique to Greene County, is this what we call Multicultural Family Resource Center. Again, this is an initiative to get people to the county so that they can fill those jobs. And we recently had received a grant from Rural Business Development from USDA that helps to get this kicked off. So this Multifamily Resource Center is going to really be the pathway for folks moving into the community, to help them assimilate into the community, to get them into their job, and you connect with all of the needs that they have, and whether it's housing or education, any financial issues, physical and mental health, those type of things would be addressed through a director of this Multicultural Family Resource Center. So we're going to be proactive, very proactive in making sure that our new residents feel comfortable in their community, and that the community feels very comfortable with our new residents also. So thanks to that USDA grant, but also to some fantastic business and private support, this project is over 95% funded for the first 3 years. So they're looking at this not just as a 1 year, one and done type of a situation, but it's a long-term initiative that's going to help attract people to the community, attract those employees that we so desperately need. So now, as you look at some of the lots that would be available in town, the city does own a few infill lots, and here's 3 of them. 1 shows in blue and 2 show in yellow. But the city again has been really aggressive in acquiring some dilapidated properties. So these are newly acquired properties. Actually, a couple of them are brand new. The newly acquired, and the homes are still standing on them, but they would be demolished, and the homes, the lot available for purchase at what would be a very reasonable price. And I want to highlight this one particularly. It's a double lot at 105 East Adams Street, about 200 by 100. And we would look at this as being something that's ideal, like for this, about the size of a triplex. Close to the downtown, actually only 1 block away from the downtown, and that close access to those shopping and doctors. And it actually is right across the street then from Hy-Vee. So suggested price on this is $25,000, but we could talk. And you see who the contact there, Chad. Chad is our building official here in town, or I'd be happy to talk with you all myself. So as you look at other prospective lands that would be available for development, we look at this site as a real good site for a potential single family development. Greene County Medical Center owns this land, and it's just to the west of the hospital. So this is about 11 acres that are out there, and really would view this as something around a development of about 20 to 25 single family homes. So this is a greenfield site and would need all the infrastructure to be installed. And Greene County Medical Center would love to work with you on that. Their asking price here is set at $150,000. City has worked TIF deals to assist with infrastructure costs with a couple of our other developments. So these would be reimbursement arrangements for infrastructure than using TIF. But you see the contact there, Chad Butterfield is the CEO of the hospital, and he would sure love to talk with you about that. But I really want to focus on a couple of the places where we have existing subdivisions where there are quite a few lots that would be available right away for development. So we look at these existing lots at Lincoln Ridge and at Briarwood, both located on the west side of town. Pardon me. Lincoln Ridge, really nice, actually more of an upscale place. You see the lake up there, that's Lake Matrosi. And these lots are about a half acre to 1 acre. And again, these would be lots that might be a little higher in with the type of homes that are built. All the infrastructure is in place there. Again, that gig rated internet is all there ready to go. Got 5 1 acre lots that are available and 7 half acre lots. Several of them are level lots, but some of them are walkout lots too. Really just a lovely area. This does have covenant on that area. And the covenant is that it would be 1,700 square feet of livable space. And again, the city is offering 3-year 100% tax abatement on that. Here's what it is out there at Lincoln Ridge. You see the lake down there to the right. And you also see that it is partially built up. It's about half filled out there, but some really nice homes. Jefferson is right at the top of the screen now. So this really is kind of on the outskirts of the area. It's about a mile away from the rest of the town. But again, lovely lots out there that would be somewhere between a half acre to 1 acre. And they are available for purchase here anytime. See the price on those. The price they are priced about $32,000 to $45,000 per lot, depending on the size. All privately held, and they're all owned by Mark Bauer and the Tri-County Lumber Corporation. And you can see there's the contact information for Mr. Bauer. Another subdivision that I wanted to talk to you about is the Briarwood subdivision. Again, this is west of town, where again, these are readily available, and there's 19 of these lots that are still available. So they tend to be quarter acre size lots. And let's take a look at this one a little bit. So we're flying from the south, but you see there's partially built up again, but there's 7 lots that are on the right side of that picture. And then there's another 3 lots that are on the left side of that picture right there. And as you continue on down, you see a couple more of these lots interspersed between a couple of the homes that are built. So the road's going to go up here and turn to the right. And that would actually get you on Lincoln Way, which is the main entrance then into the downtown area. This is about a half a mile to the west of downtown. Excuse me, again, all you saw all the infrastructure was in place, concrete streets, water, sewer, natural gas, everything's there, as well as that fiber to the home. It does have a covenant on these properties there. Also, it's 1,200 square foot of livable space. And again, the city offers tax abatement, 3 years, 100% tax abatement on that. Price on these lots said 28.2 and up, but really it's basically 28.82 is the listing. You see that there's a larger one, lot 30 down there, which is a little bit more. So again, Mark Bauer and Tri-County Lumber are the property owners here with this subdivision also. And I know Mark would absolutely love to talk to you about that, as would I. And with that, really, thank you. I thank you for everybody taking time out of their day today, but I thank you to the Iowa Thriving Communities Program for giving us this opportunity to present out there to and show you what's available in Jefferson. And we're going to focus on those 3 words there. Jefferson is ready, and we really think that we're ready. We're ready to take that next step with the developer to come in here and get some of these homes that are so badly needed in town. And with that, we'll be eligible, or we're available to take questions here anytime.
Okay, well, thank you. Let's actually jump over to Steve and Emily with Charles City first, and then we'll do questions all at once at the end here.
Great.
So,
okay.
I think Steve and Emily, you can share your screen on the top right.
Hey, we are sharing. We are working on that right now. Share the Charles City ITC tab. And then, all right, how does that look for everybody?
Looks great. Thank you.
Awesome.
Great.
Well, hello, my name is Emily Garden. I am the co-chair of the Charles City Housing Task Force, and this is
Steve Deere, City Administrator for Charles City.
We make a great tag team, so you'll get to enjoy a little show today while we present to you about Charles City, which is an Iowa thriving community. Hello to Ashley and Jared and just everybody else on the call. So to start off, Steve is going to share a bit about our available developments.
Right. So these are some of our focus areas that we initially put in our Thriving Communities application, plus a little extra. So the main one, the focal point, is our shovel-ready proposed development in red. This is all in the southwest portion of the community. It's quick highway access. This shovel-ready lot is actually a property that's owned by our local area development group, and it has a unfinished street designed to go through it to provide access to it. It's got water and sewer infrastructure already there. It's just a matter of the city paving that street. We have Omnitel as far as the internet service provider willing to install in that area. Mid-American Gas and Electric, they're ready to go as well. A lot of that area they already serve. But that red area, the top portion is about 4 or 5 acres that's immediately available for development. There's a lot more there that could be added on to that afterwards. But that area there, it's the plan is that ADC would offer that at no cost. The city would also be installing the street with curb and gutter, concrete street. And then we also are looking to putting the financing touches on a 10-year 100% tax abatement program as well. So that's our main site to focus on, we thought. But also to the east of that is available hospital land. And Our hospital's in the middle of a large expansion. This area in black is actually directly west of the hospital, and they have no plans of developing that. It's open green space. And so we've had initial discussions with them about acquiring that property for additional future development for housing, and they are certainly open to that idea. If you go to the north, you've got in orange, it's what's listed and commonly known as the Cedar Health Building. That's right there on the corner of Highway 18, Highway 14, and South Main Street as you come into town. And that's a former assisted living center that closed down a couple of years ago. It's changed hands a few times. It's not currently operating as anything right now. So that building there, we've had discussions with the current owner. They're willing to sell that to the city for a very reasonable price. It has an old structure on it, but it's a prime area for some redevelopment, a great location, lots of passes each day, and some nice stuff that we could do there. Finally, we have our Sherman Creek development land. This is area that's actually, what you see there in green is our city golf course. And the Sherman Creek area is actually just recently purchased. It's a former nursery. And so that's an area that the current owner is, there are a group in town that's kind of stuck their toe in the water as far as doing some housing development because nobody else was doing it in town. And so depending, as that project moves forward and is successful, they want to expand and do more out this way to the area in purple. But at the same time, they're willing and hopeful and open to the idea of partnering with somebody to come and do some development as well. So then this here, we kind of zoom out a little bit to give you some perspective. So this is Charles City as a whole. You've got 218 that kind of goes north and south, that wraps around the community. It's the Avenue of the Saints. And so as you can see, the areas I kind of pointed out, they're all in that southwest quadrant of town. But we do have area in other parts of the community as well. Of particular interest, if a HUD qualified zone is of any interest to you when it comes to like low income housing tax credits or what have you, basically anything north of this, and this is Highway 18 goes to the east, but anything above that area there, this whole part of town is all within that qualified zone. So I wanted to point that out as well. But as you can see, we're split by the Cedar River, kind of comes down between. You've got highway access route here to on this end, and down here where our shovel-ready site is, you come out here, this is the south arterial into town, and that takes you about a quarter mile away to the highway down on that end.
So just for a little bit of context, I have been a lifelong resident of Charles City since I was 5, so I figure that counts as lifelong. Steve has been here
10 years.
10 years,
yeah.
And we're building this map, and I am very geographically challenged, and I had rearranged our entire town when I was putting it together for you all. So
she's very good at other things.
Yeah, just not maps. So lucky for you, this one is correct. He made sure to prove them a few times for me. But I just want to share with you a little bit about why we're so excited about where this development land is at. So if you look down here in the bottom left at that ADC proposed development land, and then the available hospital land, let's look at some proximity to things around it, right? So we want convenient access to trails. So right here, if you can see that little blue dot, is the Charlie Western Trail, and that will be completed in a full loop at the end of this coming summer, which is very exciting. We just built some new bridges on that trail. It's very heavily used, so we're pretty thrilled about that. But obviously very easy access there. The available hospital land and the ADC proposed development are both very close to an already thriving single family home area neighborhood on 11th Street, which is also great. So it's a nice neighborhood. Lots of pride of ownership in the homes there. So it would be awesome to kind of meet them across the street and just keep growing off of that. The next thing that we look for, that I look for at least, is industry, right? We want to make sure that we have people to fill the homes. It's convenient. You're very close by a big corridor of industry over here. So we have some major pharmaceutical plants in town. And then Zoetis is an animal pharmaceuticals. So we have human and animal pharmaceuticals, whatever floats your boat, and then a variety of other smaller industries over here, but they really do make up a good core in our industrial park. So we have Winnebago, CDI, which makes some parts for Winnebagos, and then Yokohama TWS, which used to be called Mitas. And so they make gigantic tire wheels, tractor wheels, sorry. So a lot of really good options over here for the trades and for specialized industry. Additionally, both Cambrix and Zoetis have done significant expansions in the last 5 years, 2 times each, and they've added a significant number of Iowa high quality jobs. So another thing to think about here with Cedar Health, right? You're surrounded by well-established residential neighborhoods. I myself lived kind of in this area when I first moved back to town after college. And it's a great walkable area. And just beyond this map is our downtown. So even though you have access to a lot of good things over here, there's a lot just off the map that you can't quite see. Another thing I want to highlight about this available hospital land and the ADC land is that you're right next to our hospital, which is doing a $33 million expansion right now to become just the absolute best it can be. We're really excited about that. And then a grocery store with a Fairway right here and a Quick Star convenience store and highway access just off the map. So a lot of good things, and then a restaurant corridor as well, and access to the river for recreation. A lot of great options.
Yep. So here's a visual of that ADC, that shovel-ready site. So just to give you some proximity, you've got the boundary on the left-hand side, Corporate Drive, that's already existing. The area that the ADC or development group is committed to gifting is that area bound on the left by the street. The property line to the north would be that tree line basically, and then you can kind of see the eastern green space. That's the eastern property line. Southern property line is, if you can kind of tell in the middle of the screen, it's kind of a lighter color. That's actually where the water and sewer goes through and connects in. So that would be where 13th Street would look to be continued. And we've, the city council has made this a priority. That's already in our budget for the next year to have that completed, and that would work in conjunction with any type of construction project. Additionally, I want to point out that, you're basically looking from south to north here. Further to the south, there's more land for development for future projects. This area up here is also owned by our area development group. That's something that down the road could be available. This property here is actually a property that the city has been working on, looking to possibly acquire. It's underutilized. There's a home in there somewhere, I promise. But this is the area too I wanted to point out. This is that hospital area. As you can see, it looks like they were baling hay that week. But that is area that the hospital has owned for years. Nothing has ever been built there. And so that's area that could be additionally open too. So what we've kind of had in mind is maybe that's a great area for additional single family housing. We need, we've done the housing studies as well, and it says we need everything, for seniors, for market rate, we need some low income housing, affordable housing. We could use about all of it. And we've built a lot of it. We've partnered with a lot of entities to do things. We've just had a lot of people retire and move away. And so right now we really don't have a developer in the community. And as I mentioned before, we're working with a couple of business owners that they have never done housing before, but we've been able to work with them to give it a try. So we need somebody that wants to come in and do some development. So whether it's single family over here, maybe multi-residential apartments over here, we thought might be a good idea. It's just an area with a lot of opportunity. It has a nice gentle slope, so everything drains. So I just think it could be a really great option.
Just a little bit more beyond the maps and the proximity and all of that, on the human side of Charles City, right? A little bit on why you really want to come here and build. That shovel-ready site is attractive. There's no doubt about it. It's the site that's going to make you turn and look twice for sure. The free land and free street are obviously great benefits. And there is nothing more, that we can do, that we want to make sure that we're serious about supporting housing and housing growth in Charles City. So that's from our Charles City Area Development Corporation, the City Council. They made this a very big priority, and both of those entities have signed resolutions making that an official step forward that they're taking. It's not just kind of a We talked about it at a planning session. It's something that's truly happening. So we're very excited to meet a developer who's going to want to build there that we can support very actively. Next thing, that 10-year 100% tax abatement. Once again, very serious about meeting you economically and supporting you in this mission. We understand that building isn't cheap and that economies of scale dictate that maybe a rural community is not the place you're going to go first. So we appreciate that the Iowa Thriving Communities designation might help tip the scales a little bit in our favor, and that the 10-year 100% tax abatement might help a little bit more. Additionally, I want you to know that we have a lot of people that need these homes. So right now we have nearly 1,000 people leaving town for work every day, as well as another 1,000 coming into town for work every day. So if you look at that, we already have a significant housing shortage. Second, we have over 500 new jobs coming online in the next couple of years. A significant amount of those will be in the next year. So there is a very urgent need to provide some housing for people. I think you look at the community, the sense of community that can be lost, right? When you go to work and you drive 30 minutes home or 40 minutes home. And we don't want that. You know, we want people to go to work and then drive 2 minutes home and be part of this. And if you look at these pictures on this slide, you can see it's a pretty awesome community with great 4th of July traditions, a fun brewery downtown, a grass tennis court in Iowa, who would have thought? A sweet whitewater kayaking course, and a very cool collection of murals. So a lot of good things happening for us. Last but not least,
That works.
I'm the worst at those, sorry. We are both low-income housing tax credit and workforce housing tax credit qualified. So we are excited to welcome developers of all kinds. The last two things, see, I got it wrong. It was not last. The last two things I want to touch on. We have very steady childcare here in our learning center. It recently did a massive expansion, moved to a new building, got $1.5 million in state funding, and is doing amazingly well. It's almost doubled its enrollment. And lastly, we have the North Iowa Area Community College Career Center, which is just about to complete its exterior construction.
Yep.
It's a combination of 7 area schools, which is huge, coming together to train students in construction trades, healthcare trades, and technology, and 2 others. So some really great things happening here. We appreciate the opportunity to be here with you to answer any questions you have. Our town is beautiful. We would love to welcome you home to Charles City and welcome any questions you have.
Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you both. Any questions for Jefferson or Charles City? Go ahead and unmute yourself, or you're welcome to type in the chat as well if that's easier for you. I'll just talk for a second.
Talk at once.
I know. I'll just talk for a second here, just kind of as a reminder. So for workforce housing tax credits, just a reminder, the incentive is up to $30,000 in tax credit per unit in these small communities, such as Jefferson and Charles City. In addition to that, there's also the sales tax rebate, which is available for any sales tax paid on the construction materials in Iowa for the project as well. The maximum award for workforce housing is up to $1 million, so it definitely scales pretty well for smaller projects and for larger projects. Workforce housing can be for single family, duplex, townhome, apartment buildings, upper story rehab, all kinds of adaptive reuse of non-residential buildings, all kinds of types we can do. We also, for workforce housing, allow both rental and homeownership. So it's both very flexible program for development options. So it seems like it would fit very well for both of these communities in that sense as well. On the low-income housing tax credit side, a little different animal, a little bigger bite sometimes. So most of those are going to be at least 30 units in size or larger. They can be single-family, townhome, apartment style, upper story type units, and or adaptive reuse units. However, they ought to be rental. So those are all rental units and not eligible for home ownership. So those do have some more restrictions on those. for the program as well. So any questions up here? I know everyone's shy. I'll also introduce Nick Sorensen. He's our new tax credit project manager for workforce housing tax credits and state historic. So Nick's joined us a few weeks ago, but he's been with IEDA for a couple of years now and the Downtown Resource Center. Nick, do you want to tell us a little more about the webinar and what's coming up here in the round?
Yeah, so the webinar is going to be coming up January 25th at 10 o'clock. That is in person and virtual. We'll also be recording it for you and posting it on the website as a good reference to come back to. There'll be a few slight changes in the application. We're trying to make Iowa grants work for the developers because it is a little bit clunky. But yeah, please attend that. There's going to be a lot of pointers. It's going to be starting out with here's what we need in the application. We're going to end it with here's projects that worked, right? So please attend. Thank you. And ask questions. These guys put together wonderful presentations.
This is less of a question, more of a thank you to the IEDA and IFA team. We work a lot with our area landlords. Like a lot of towns, we have a great base of rental properties, and just appreciate the programs that you make available to them. Being able to talk with them and make sure that they're aware of those has been really helpful for them as well. So while you're all in one space, just wanted to make sure that you know that we are very appreciative of that.
Well, great. So feel free to reach out to Jefferson or Charles City questions, or you can reach out to Nick or myself and give questions as well coming up here. This is the third of 4 webinars. So we've had great turnout so far and a lot of interested people, of course, but maybe they're a little shy to ask questions because they're still working on what they want to propose. Our final webinar will be on Tuesday, December 19th from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. And it'll be for Manning, Muscatine, and Oskaloosa. So that's our final one coming up here. So please register online for that if you want to learn more about those communities and opportunities. Otherwise, I'm going to thank everyone for attending this afternoon and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Great,
Thank you.
great. Thanks, everybody.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. Have a great, happy holidays.
Yeah.